Welcome to As Above.
So below,
I am Kisha Lee, the Psychic Yogi.
and I'm Cidnee Rich, and this is Astro Reiki Taurus season. Beautiful, lovely energy. Um, One of my favorite seasons. I know it's one of Keisha's too. We are just saying that. So we're moving from Aries. I hope you guys had a exciting Aries season that got you maybe kind of direction oriented and ready to ground down into this Taurus energy, slow down a bit, get your bearings. Remember that we are experiencing and living this life that we're in. We're not just planning and doing it. So I like that Taurus comes right after Aries so we can enjoy ourselves. You know, Taurus is a very luxurious sign that likes to take its time. When it comes to anything, whether it's eating or shopping or gardening, whatever that energy that you can really just get into and be present in and really feel all the senses. And I think that it really helps us to kind of connect with that with the springtime, with what's going on around us in our environment, because it does make you want to be more present and realize, like, oh, it feels good outside. It's the sun. Oh, it's a sunny day. Oh, it's a cloudy day. Like, I feel like in Taurus season, spring in general, you're much more aware of like what is going on with the weather because it is shifting from winter. And we're remembering, like, oh yeah, I remember when it used to feel like this. And we have those like moments again, and we're seeing like the flowers, and you're seeing the butterflies and the bees, and it's kind of, you can't help but to be immersed in your environment and to be present and to feel what's going on and see what's going on, hear what's going on, smell what's going on. So I love Taurus season because it just gets us back to our human experience here. You know, we're a soul having a human experience, and sometimes, a lot of times, we get disconnected from that concept. And I think Taurus like literally puts us back into our body so that we realize like every day really is a gift, as they say, right? And that's why we call it the present. uh, but yeah, and it's that yin feminine energy. So we're being receptive and open to our environment and our relationships, ourself. And it's a soft energy with it being ruled by Venus. So it has this really soft kind of beauty to it, but it's also very um there's a lot of strength to Taurus, with the bull being the symbol, right? It's a strong feminine energy, and it has this determination. Sometimes it can be stubbornness, right? But it's this like, no, I want to be here. I want to be seen. I want to be um felt, right? It's a very strong presence that Taurus energy brings. And so I think by being in your body, taking up space, knowing that you deserve to be where you are. It's your birthright to want to enjoy your life, want to experience good things, want to feel abundant, and that abundance is all around you, even if you're not always seeing it in the um, financial sense. There is this abundance that is still tangible with when it comes to our sense of self and how we are showing up. And Taurus rules the second house in astrology, which is, yes, the house of assets and resources, but it's also about your values. And I speak about this all the time in Taurus season because it's a checkup on like, what are you valuing? Where are you putting your energy? Where are you putting your time, right? Earth energy, pentacles in the tarot is all about our resources, but resources aren't just money, it's our time. It's our literal energy. And so with Taurus, it's saying like, what deserves your time, your energy, your attention? Like, what do you need to nurture? What do you want to nurture? and being able to really focus on things that feel good, that feel pleasurable, that feel comforting, right? Creature comforts comes with Taurus energy, and where you feel that sense of comfort, and whether that's with people, whether that's like in your home, or being getting back to activities that just make you feel grounded, hiking, gardening, like I mentioned. I love the earthiness of Taurus. It's like, I know all the earth signs, pull from that energy, but Taurus, with it being fixed, it's like you really get to sit in that luxury of having this earth that we're on, like, and experiencing it and enjoying it, and it feels good. And I love having a Taurus moon. It is exalted, and the moon is exalted in Taurus, so I'm lucky for sure to have a Taurus moon, or blessed, aligned, because it really, I feel like it's, I don't know, I feel like it's the best of everything with that moon energy. Like, I get to feel my feels, but I also get to really experience those feelings, right? I get to really go into the emotionality of things in a way that is not overwhelming, and I never feel like I'm drowning, but I also never feel like I get to escape my feelings either. Like, I have to sit with them. And so that whole concept of like feeling your feels, I feel like it's kind of like second nature for me to feel my feels, and then also just let them, move on. But it also, I think comfort is very important, and feeling safe and secure. And so during this Taurus season, maybe just really working on that energy, like what makes you feel safe, what makes you feel secure within yourself, but also like your environment. It could be a good time to recheck, your safety system in your house. I don't know. I was thinking about getting one of those like home security systems. So something like that, or maybe like redoing your room. Maybe it's too stark and you want it to feel better, you want it to feel more homey. So Taurus season really gives you a lot to work with that Venus energy, with love and the beauty of everything. And also, it rules the throat, right? The throat, our vocal cords, our voice. And so sitting in your truth and speaking what you need to speak and saying what you need to say. But also, with it being ruled by Venus, I think that's interesting. It's like you can say what you need to say without being harsh, or without feeling even bad about that. Like, I feel like that Venus is like a softener, which I don't know if I could have that per se, because I have I don't know where my directness really comes from. But
Your your Virgo.
I do know I have the ability to say what I need to say to people in a way that they can receive it, when I take my time, which is very Taurus. When I slow down and really take my time when expressing myself, I think I really am able to connect that emotion with a space where it feels soft but like honest. So I think it's interesting energy too to play around with during the season. Um, and really just listening also to where you're being guided during this time period. Since it is this earth energy, it's the opposite of Scorpio, right? We'll have a full moon in Scorpio next week. It's that Scorpio energy is that etheric space, and Taurus brings it into reality. And so with that, it's like, where is spirit guiding you to make actionable steps and actually do something, or obtain something? It's like the Hierophant is the spiritual guide, right? In original decks, it was called like the Pope. And what do? You go to the Pope, or you go to your priest or whatever to get guidance from spirit. And so with this, it's like really taking the time to listen to what's guiding you, what messages you're getting, what your dreams are telling you, what conversations you're having with people, understanding that that guidance is all around you, but you have to be present in order to receive it, which goes back to like slowing down, being very aware of your environment and your senses, because going back to how we get our intuitive messaging is through our clairs, which are just our psychic senses. But a lot of time people miss their intuition because they're not paying attention. And that Taurus slows you down. That Hierophant gives you that message, but you have to understand, how are you receiving it? Is it through a dream? Is it through an audible message, through music? Is it something that you just know or pops in your head? Is it something that you're feeling? But in order for you to catch that, you have to be present enough in your body to know when something like that is coming in, right? If you don't know how your body feels just in like regular status quo, you'll miss your intuitive like message. And so people like myself and Kisha, we're not some magical beings, like we are, but we're in the term of like, we're not different. We're not, than anybody. It's just that with the work that we do, we're more aware of our intuition and the messages that are coming to us. And so I think Taurus season is a great season for all of us to practice listening and being present to those messages, because they're there. And that's why it represents the Hierophant, because a lot of times we need to know that like spirit will give us the next steps based off of what we value, care about, and what we want to have. And so paying attention to that guidance can get us to exactly where we're trying to go. And the last thing, astrologically, I just want to mention, because it's going to be a big deal, and all the astro babes and guys are talking about it, is the Uranus conjunction with Jupiter on Saturday. So this upcoming Saturday, 420. Uranus and Jupiter are both in Taurus, and then the sun will be in Taurus. So it's all this Taurian energy. And what it's doing is I think what it's doing, it's finally like breaking through a wall. That's what it feels like to me, like a wall, like being shattered or like driven through, like the Kool-Aid man. That's what it looks like to me, because Taurus, like I said, it's fixed earth energy, and it's been in Jupiter. So Jupiter wants to expand and grow, but it's in this fixed earth energy. So it's holding all of this like abundance, and we aren't necessarily accessing it just yet. Then you have Uranus conjuncting with that, and Uranus literally is like a breakthrough energy. So it's like this kind of like explosion of sorts when they come together, and it kind of is breaking that Taurus energy to like do what it wants to do in Jupiter, which is expand and like pour the abundance out, or pour the opportunity, or the the surprises. It's like a surprise energy, but a good surprise energy. So I would look out for Saturday for good things to happen, unexpected things to happen, that feel really good to the senses, I would say. So maybe you might, I don't know, find $20 on the ground, or maybe you'll have really awesome sex, or maybe you'll eat like the best meal of your life. Like, who knows? But it's like that type of energy. So it's exciting. I already mentioned the full moon in Scorpio, and then Mercury will go direct on the 25th. So yay for that. And let's pull a reading. Mercury is so funny being in retrograde, because it's just always like, it's nothing, it does really have an effect. It doesn't have to be all like doom and gloom and like scary, but all like weird little things for me always happen um with Mercury. But even today, I had a meeting, a walkthrough, and I'm like, oh, it'll take me like usually like during that time of day, it's like, oh, I can leave the house in 40 minutes, I'll get there. And then I go to pull up the address, and it's like an hour and 10 minutes. And I'm like, what? So like I'm like hurrying, and I'm leaving out of the house really quick. And then I get like literally right up the street, and an email comes through, and it's like, hey, we actually have to cancel and reschedule for the morning. And I'm like, That's very Mercury retrograde, but it was positive. I was rushing and now I just get to go back home and great. Awesome. Awesome. I can dig that.
That's your Taurus moon too.
Yes. What? I don't have to go anywhere and I can go home? Great. All right. What is the energy for Taurus season for the collective? Anyone that watches this or hears this? Let's find out. When I talk about sensations, that wasn't it. Okay. So, okay, cool. We have the Six of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. So I'm going to start with the Two of Wands. This is that planning energy that it's like, okay, what are we doing next? What's going on next? And so as we came out of that cardinal Aries energy, now we're in this fixed Taurus. So now we're going back to like our plans and we're sitting in those plans, right? We're assessing, because with the or the Six of Pentacles, this is what we value, right? This is where we want to spend our time, spend our energy. And so we're wanting to make sure that in our plans, we're doing things in a way that's balanced. So we feel balanced. We don't feel overwhelmed. We don't feel stretched. We don't feel like we are doing more than we're doing more than somebody else is. So there's this sense here with Taurus season, with us being able to slow down, is to making sure that our plans that we have put into like action or started to put into action are going to work in a way that feels worthy, valued, right? Like that it makes sense, because I have the Eight of Pentacles reverse, and this is literally work energy, like what you are putting your time, energy, and efforts into. So with the season, it's really about us making sure that we are not repeating any past patterns. We're making sure that we're moving in spaces that feel good to us, because we have the Nine of Swords here. So this is an anxious energy. It's a reminder that, like, okay, like I said, being present. If you're present and something isn't, you get this feeling like, I don't like this, listen to that so you can avoid putting your energy, time, or whatever into said thing, right? So being aware of how you're feeling, being aware of how you're thinking, because the sun is ultimately here. And so there's this growth and expansion and happiness, abundance that's here for us in this season, but it really hinges on feeling balanced with where we're putting our efforts and our energy, and making sure our plans are matching that sense of like freedom within, like getting and having what we want. It feels like with the sun here, it's like a sense of like, I want to feel free, but I want it to last. So I want to make sure that I'm not burning myself out or getting myself back into situations that aren't balanced and that aren't sustainable. Because I don't want to be stressed out. I want to enjoy my life, right? Going back to that sense of being able to enjoy life. So making sure that we're doing things, making choices that allow us to do that, and in turn, let us feel more free, happy, and abundant in the process.
That's funny. I was gonna raw dog this one today, but but what I wrote down, it's funny that you ended your cosmic chat with abundance, because that was the first thing I wrote down, was that abundance is everywhere, right? Taurus season. I love Taurus season. I'm a little partial because I'm a Libra and it's Venus ruled, so it's Venus season for me, but the more grounded version. And spring, I love spring. It's my season of renewal. I just like the energy. And May specifically, because May is the month that I gave birth to my son, who is his son is in Taurus. And then also, Mother's Day is in May, so it's like, I had a kid on Cinco de Mayo, which is a celebratory holiday, and then a week later, I was celebrating Mother's Day. So I'm very uh, partial to Taurus season. But when it comes down to abundance, a lot of times we think of abundance in the realm of material gains, and that is a part of abundance. Abundance just means a lot, okay? A surplus, more than enough. So you can have an abundance of something that you desire, you can have an abundance of things that you don't desire. And I always teach my students that when it comes down time to put your intentions out there, to speak your truth, to vocalize what it is that you desire and want to bring into your life, that which you value, that it's really important to be specific about what you want an abundance of. Okay. Do you want abundance of um, collaborations, partnerships, business opportunities? Do you want an abundance of grace and ease and flow in your life, harmony and balance? Do you want an abundance of resources? Do you need an abundance of pleasure and play and just opportunities for fun and enjoyment? What do you need an abundance of? Okay. And as you speak these truths, the way your affirmations, when you say them out loud, works, as you use your throat, okay, your voice, your throat chakra, what happens is your tone of voice is very important and significant. Also, your presence. So, to become present, you want to tap into your senses. Okay. Notice for a minute, just taking a couple deep breaths, noticing what it is that you're seeing in your environment. Notice what you're hearing. Maybe there's a fragrance. Maybe there's a flavor on your tongue. Maybe there's a sensation on your body. Okay. Maybe there's something that you're sensing from within. Okay. Our ability to perceive outside of ourselves is known as proprioception, where we are in time and space. Our ability to understand our inner world and what we're sensing within is called interoception. And so presence is being in that space in between, knowing what's happening outside of ourselves, but also how we are responding on the inside and that dynamic relationship between the two. And so with that being said, from the space within, when we are affirming things out loud using our voice, right, we become very present to what it is that we really want. We align our intentions and our affirmations with what we value. And as we speak those truths out loud, what happens is in your voice box will start to vibrate. That vibration sends a signal throughout your nervous system. Okay. And that creates a communication between not only your nervous system, but throughout the rest of your body. Now, your body is 70% water. Water is a very programmable energy. And because of that, that information is now resonating throughout the whole body. Okay. That vibration, the frequency, the tone of your voice is creating an energetic imprint, but on a cellular level within your physical body. Okay. We know that Earth is ruled by our physical world, or I guess our physical world is ruled by Earth, technically. let me not piss Mother Earth off, okay? But also Earth, part of our earthly container is our physical body. And when we learn to really tap into all of our senses and be able to straddle that divide between not only above and below, but also within and out, that proprioception and interoception, then what happens is we become more refined in what it is that we desire, what it is that we want, and how we express that out into the world. Now, the rest of the world also has a frequency, a vibration, Okay, so as we hone our inner world, that is reflected through our electromagnetic field outside of us. And that is how we start to draw in the opportunities that resonate with us. Our vibe, our vibration attracts our tribe, our community, our people. All right. And so, with that being said, going back to abundance and manifesting abundance and speaking what it is that you desire with clarity, with presence, with certainty, okay, in your tone of voice, then what happens is that energy as it goes out into the world, it's already there, which they say what you want exists. And we're like, oh, okay, it might sound like a little therix and woo stuff. All right, cool. I'm gonna just have faith and believe. But what you want truly does exist out there. And so even though you may personally be feeling like you're in a place of lack, there's someone out there that has what you want. There's someone else out there that's creating or has created something that's similar to what you desire, all that kind of stuff. So abundance is everywhere, literally in and of itself, okay, because it's available. Availability itself, knowing that there is a possibility, that is abundance in itself. That is abundance mind thinking. It's knowing that it's possible, okay, because it is out there. Someone else is doing it, having it, experiencing it, feeling it, whatever it is, okay, that you desire, whether that's peace, love, relationships, money, legacy, wealth, whatever, okay, family, home, all that kind. Somebody has something. Okay. And so therefore there is that energy of abundance. Someone's already holding that vibration. So for you, all you need to do to quote unquote manifest more abundance of something specific is to know that it already exists. Okay. That lack consciousness is what keeps you feeling as if it doesn't exist. But if you open your mind to understand that no, someone else has it already, so therefore it exists, and I can have, which is Taurus mantra, I can have that too, right? I can have it show up in a way that's unique for me, because as I speak my truth with clarity and certainty, then that energy is vibrating out into the world. Okay, that electromagnetic field that is around you starts to resonate with that and starts to transmit that out, and that is how that which resonates with you will start to draw to you, because like attracts like. Okay, so on an energetic and on a physiological level, that's how that works. But aside from that, we talked about value, we talked about abundance, the opportunity of abundance in is of itself, but also we sometimes get very caught up in abundance looking like how much we have, and that is true. However, I, from personal life experience, know that abundance is also what you don't have, as far as what you don't have to do. Okay. I get lots of free things all the time. I don't know, I might think I might be lacking in one area of my life, but then I look at how much free stuff, how much I don't have to spend, okay, to experience these things. So, one example is like for myself, I value holistic health. Okay. I've been in the health and beauty industry 25 years. All right. So I value health and beauty, but also because of that, my abundance, like, yes, it's nice to accumulate the funds to be able to pay for those things. I get it. That's great. However, Spirit has put me in an international beauty school. And I was speaking to the spa director the other day, and guess what? All services are complimentary for instructors, which means hair is free, nails are free, facials are free, massages are free for me. Okay. So I have this I have the opportunity, right? The possibility, the potential is there for me to take advantage of, so I can have those experiences, but I don't have to expend anything excessive of myself in order to have it. I don't have to sacrifice myself to be of service or to receive the services that I need to help me create a strong foundation, to feel more grounded and appreciative in my body, to align with the things that I truly value, and to also have an abundance of resources to support me on my path and on my journey. Okay, so yep, that's what I got. That's what I got there. That's what raw dogging it looks like, y'all. Oh, you know what? One other thing. I realized, so you were talking about Scorpio being water and then Taurus being earth, and how they're both like feminine energies because of water or earth. And I was just thinking, I was like, oh, majority of earth is water. That's Taurus and Scorpio. And it's like, oh, that's it. I don't know why just that clicked for some reason. And then I thought about it, I was like, well, that's like in our bodies. We are also about 60-70% water, just like the earth. And our earthly container is our body. So I don't know where that's coming from. I just wrote it down and figured I was gonna say it. No direction on that one. Okay. Just information.
Well, we love information, okay? I think it's cool too. I think Taurus and Scorpio energy is very transformative, as we know. And I think that the earth is constantly transforming, and it has a lot to do with the vibration of us that are inhabiting it. So the more, as we talk about the collective, that's what we're doing. The more we're shifting the collective to this higher consciousness, the more the earth changes in a way that is a representation of that. So it is about that work. That's what we're doing here in this container. That's what we're doing every day when we're speaking to people, being ourselves, showing up authentically, because that's how we change the collective. It's not going out there and beating people to death with the information. It's just living that way and inspiring other people to live that way. And that's that change and that shift. So just like you said, water's programmable. We are all programmable. And the more our program changes, that's when we'll see the changes on Earth. So
yeah, maybe we can tell a new vision and create a new program.
yeah, which is what's happening. It's happening all around, and it just is slow. Earth is slow, right? Earth energy is slow. Scorpio energy is deep. So it's taking a long time, and there's a lot of stuff that has to come up for us to change, but it's happening.
But
Oh,
also deep and deep, me being a little perv. I like, but deep and slow can also be pleasurable. So
say that.
just,
Okay.
just saying. Okay.
Yes. Snaps to that. Okay,
Tantra
great.
teaching, what do you expect?
So yeah, hope you guys have a pleasurable Taurus season. And we will be back for the full moon in Scorpio. And then, yeah, the new moon in Taurus. So, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share with your friends, so we can get that consciousness going, right?
Mhm.
See ya.